are opening to a higher view of our multi-dimensional reality today. Uh, and welcome to the Akashic Records overview class. It's really the first class in our Akashic Records with oracles and EFT energy healing. Phillip Mountrose here with my wonderful wife and partner, Jane Mountrose, co-founders here of Awakenings Institute. And we're really teaching this course because it's a way of engaging in the new frontier, as we call it, the next new frontier, which is going to help you unleash your full potential and becoming more of a beacon of light of the world. Sometimes we just wonder, what can we do? Well, we can do more together with like-minded people, as in this class and the course that this is the beginning of, the Akashic Records Spiritual Awakening course. And it's going to help you focus on your soul's journey and your purpose and your plan. And we've been doing this, Jane and I, here for over 3 decades in Awakenings Institute, our nonprofit organization. And it really includes things like spiritual healing as well, and using oracle cards, specially designed oracle cards. And we may get to that a little bit today, too. We have a full class as
We
usual.
have a lot in our plan.
Yes. And it's going to help you. Uh, this kind of class will help you embrace what we call your uniqueness, which is your greatness. Your unique fingerprint, um, your unique genius. And as you become more in touch with that, what it is and how to use it, and the oracles and the Akashic records will reveal that. And by the way, the Akashic records, as we'll explore more deeply, is a universal database containing your past, present, and potential future lives, and much, much more. And if you haven't already joined the course, I know some people haven't, or you're watching on replay, you can still do that as we begin. We continue next week, every Wednesday at this time, all classes recorded. You can go to tinyurl.com/your-akashic records to find out about the course. And I'll tell you more about that too. And we've had some amazing experiences. Members of the class have too,
Yep.
as we've taught it in the past, and that's Jane and myself individually, and especially Jane, who wants to share some pretty amazing, life-changing, fascinating stories of what happened to her in the Akashic Records and what that is. Jane?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I was thinking about it again earlier, and in so many ways, this going into the Akashic Records and the things that we're exploring in this course and the program, the spiritual guide program, have brought up and I guess solved pieces of the puzzle that have been kind of sitting in the back of my mind for up to a few decades now. And so I wanted to kind of go through a little bit of that just as an example of the kinds of things that maybe you will want to explore, because it really is what's in your heart. What do you want to know? What would you like to understand more about? And for that, we're going to build a foundation today, which is really exciting. I also reviewed this morning. I checked on the date when all of this started, which was when all of this current our current approach that we're talking about here today and what we're teaching in this program uh, started in 2020. And it's interesting because now it seems like it's so integral to our lives, and it just is like everything. And we'll explain actually how that happens, and why it really is important to be able to go into things like the Akashic records and the other items that we're going to be discussing today. Just as an overview for beginning, um, the Akashic records, you could say it's a sacred space with a high frequency, and it has more than, it's not just one frequency, which we'll be talking about too. And the most important thing for connecting with the Akashic records is you and your
Right.
state. Today we'll discuss the things to have in mind as you prepare to go into the records. We actually will be doing the first process for going into the records next week. but we'll also go into all the remarkable things you can do in the records. And you might just want to start, if things come to mind, even starting today, just jot down, start jotting down the things that you would like to understand more about, because there are many, many possibilities and they can be life changing. I personally can't imagine being without all of the resources that we have, that we've gained through this, through our experiences, and then to be starting the program, which we did probably about 4 years ago, don't you think, Philip?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
4 years ago. And so it's all coming together, and it feels very natural and normal now. When I look back, when I started going into the records, one of the things that you might note if you are reading anything about it or have explored them, or maybe you've been in them before, is that you have to expect that you're going to be challenged by what you hear. And I would say that I was deeply, deeply challenged, especially in the first couple of years. And now I take it much more in stride. I think I've opened up a lot more to what might be happening. Um, and I'm, as I mentioned, I just can't imagine being back where we were before all of this started. Uh, so our approach, and the reason why we wanted to share it, is because we're teaching people how to open and awaken to their magnificence. Like Philip was sharing. Do you have the book? I guess, is that that it's sitting back there?
Yes.
We have this. It's our most recent book, Awakening to Your
Yeah.
Magnificence.
Here it is. It's a book
And
that comes with the course.
right. And what it's about is recognizing that we're so much more than the physical beings that we perceive here. And I think everyone knows that, or you wouldn't be here. But I think we also are, you could say we're masters in the making. So when you look at the ascended masters, they look at you and all of us when you meet with, if you connect with masters and angels and guides, they see you as a master. They don't see you as who you see yourself here in the third dimension or fourth dimension, wherever we are right now. Um, they see us as whole and complete, and we'll give our view of what that means. First, I want to take a moment to bring our energy together as we usually do in these, just to, because it helps us to come more into our bodies and into the moment. It's also opening to the love in your heart, which is where we're going to focus, is the foundation for really for accessing your records, for living your life fully, and for awakening. Um, could say, and I'll tell more about that story in a bit. Uh, and we're going to start by inviting Archangel Metatron, who is our guide. He is considered to be the angelic, you could say, keeper of the Akashic records. So we will be inviting him to be with us quite a bit today and also throughout this program or course and the program, actually. So, what we're going to do today, just to begin, is closing your eyes if you're comfortable doing so and breathing. So, shifting your focus from your mind, all the thoughts that might be going through your head, to your body. You know, breathing in the most amazing possible energy you can imagine from the universe around you, and then releasing with the exhale. So you can feel lighter with every breath, breathing in love and light, harmony, peace, whatever comes to your mind that is of a higher order, and then releasing, sending any energy that is not your own back where it came from. We all pick up energy from other people, places, and times. So just sending it back lovingly, and then bringing your own back to you. Any energy you've left in other times, people, with other people and places. And just for a moment, imagining yourself on top of the world, that idea of being on top of the world, and how good that feels. It's like being on top of the world somehow signifies being the fullness of yourself and claiming it, which is another part of it, is recognizing that we have power, we have wisdom, we have love. Those are the three main areas of the heart, the threefold flame in the heart. So just breathing in more light now and feeling that full potential that you have. Wherever you are now, you're in the perfect place. So we can invite Archangel Metatron also to bless us with a cascade of his loving light. He's one of the angels that's considered to be closest to the Creator. He helps us with awakening our spiritual gifts, with strengthening our intuition. The reason he actually connected with me, which I'll describe earlier, was to help me to really to ascend. And this is for all of us. We're in a process now where we're awakening fully. So to ascend and to recognize who we truly are. So just feeling that goodness, that wonder of who you are, the magnificence of who you are as a master in the making. And allowing yourself to feel that fully in your body, because it also is about embodiment. We'll be taking more time also in meditation. This is just to get us going and bringing us together, knowing also that there is such great value in being part of a community. Did you hear that, Philip? Is Philip here? It looks like we lost Philip. Okay, well, I'm here. So so the story that I'm going to tell uh, brings this message of becoming the masters who we are fully into our reality. It's kind of a long story, so I have to go back for all the way back for you could say 3 decades, pretty much, to provide the pieces that start to come together with all of this. Um, and it started in the late 80s, really, when we learned to connect. We learned that connecting with our heart and soul was so valuable, and that was at a time when it wasn't acknowledged as being something that people did. We were looking to discover ourselves and to be able to connect with our own guidance, and it opened us up in ways that we hadn't imagined. So we started studying all things spiritual. We were fortunate to meet some really wonderful teachers who taught us a lot of things, spiritual techniques. And one of the things that happened in those early years, probably around 1990, was I went into a past life where I was burned at the stake. I think I might have mentioned that last week also in the overview or the introductory class that we did last week. And I kept receiving guidance. I would ask, well, where was this? Who was I? And all of those kinds of questions. And I kept getting the same answer. And it was actually a publicly recognized figure. I don't really want to, I think some of you know already who it is. And I think people are here. Philip is just asking me, are you here? Is anybody hearing me?
Maybe you can be host or something.
Okay. Okay. So Philip got, I guess, cut off.
But
so you can't come back.
Recorded. So can you become host, or can people see? I guess
people see me, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we're not going to.
There he is.
You can continue. I'm not.
Well, it says it's on the custom live streaming service. Well, I'm just continuing. You can't, Phil, can you come back? Philip, he disappeared. Okay, so I had this very vivid experience of being burned at the stake where I could feel the energy coming up through my body. I could feel myself dying, the whole thing. And I wondered over the years about it and who I really was. And I couldn't quite accept what I was being told. So I just kind of took put it out of my mind for that. Um, Another thing that happened around that time in the 90s is I remembered how, and this is not something suggesting for anybody else about Jesus, but when I was a child, I always felt that I knew what was right. When I would just ask what Jesus would do in a situation, and then I would know how to approach it. And that always felt comfortable to me. I was very I guess I was it just felt very natural to me. So those are I'm mentioning them as examples of experiences that I had that I wondered about. And over all the years from the 90s up until we started connecting with the records formally around 2020, um, I didn't have a way to resolve the questions that I had. So it just continued on, and we obviously, like everybody, we were learning many things. We started teaching and um, really focusing a lot on healing, on spiritual development. And then around 2007, I'm mentioning this next experience because it was one of those ones that just kept, it was haunting me for many years. I had another past life experience where this one was more traumatizing actually than being burned at the stake, and it was the fall of Atlantis. And I was there, and I experienced everything kind of collapsing around me, um, and it was just terrifying. And of course, ending with dying, and the trauma from that one, I couldn't clear it. So this went on for years, and even all the way up to 2020, I I still wasn't able to clear that one from Atlantis. The one from uh, being burned at the stake cleared, but the Atlantis one I couldn't, and it was always baffling to me how that was. But then in 2020, it happened, and it was like a miracle for me. I had a It was one of those angelic Reiki sessions with a friend of mine. And during that session, somehow, unknown to me, and I didn't start with any intention of doing anything from that Atlantis experience, but somehow it cleared. It was just like after that session, everything was fine. Not that I was delighted with the experience, but I was no longer traumatized by it. And of course, Archangel Metatron is also connected with angelic Reiki. And at the end of the session, in my own intuition, Archangel Metatron said that he wanted to talk to me. And I was aware of Archangel Metatron before that, but it was it was a new thing for me to talk with him directly like that. So the next day when I had time, I went into meditation and I connected with him. And what he told me was that it was time for us, and I think for all of us here and so many more people, to access our full range of resources. And he didn't actually completely explain what that meant. Now Buddy's here. But what I understood it to mean was to connect with all of the resources that we have, and like the angels and the masters and guides and other things that we discovered along the way as being part of it. The Akashic Records came in, and we actually use a lot the tarot and oracle cards to increase, really, you could say, increase the synchronous experiences that we have that will help us, that will guide us forward. And I wanted to read something that I came across in a spiritual book. From the one of the ones from the Ascended Masters teachings that I thought described it so well. And this is Archangel Raphael. It's quoted from the book. What he said is the divine plan for the earth and its peoples is that the angelic host, the human kingdom, and the elemental kingdom should serve together in harmony, creating the perfection of the kingdom of God on earth. And that's what we were seeing, was that we have a connection to the earth. We have a connection with earth spirits and earth nature spirits and fairies and angels and guides and masters, and also the you could say the leaders, the gods and goddesses who are the heads of the four elements. And we have a connection with so much more than we're aware of here. And what we're here to do now is to bring this, would you would say, spirit fully into form, to embody. And now the way that I see it is embody heaven on earth. So we're here, and I guess as a summary, it's bringing unconditional love into our reality. That's a simple summary, but
Right.
there's a lot more to it. Oh, Philip is back.
I'm back.
Good. That's good. Anyhow, with a sense of all of that, Philip and I started to experiment with a lot of reality experience expanding areas that I mentioned, and of course, it really took us into a whole different place when we got to the Akashic Records. It's, I think, empowering in ways that are hard to even explain if you haven't done it before. Um, it also is using the oracle cards and the tarot, which we're going to be using in this course. It's like being able to orchestrate the process. So
Hmm.
if you're looking for information, you can be orchestrating. You could say synchronicities. So you have these aha moments that you're creating in addition to whatever things are happening externally, and they can start also to be interconnected too. Um, so that's how it has all come together for us. And when I started to connect with the Akashic Records, then I started to get a clear understanding of these things that I I just mentioned. uh, what happened in Atlantis, who I was, uh, when I was burned at the stake, and so many other things. So I want to describe that more, but since Philip is back, I also wanted him then to help us to understand what are the Akashic records, what are their libraries of information, and what can we do with them.
Yeah,
And thank you for coming back.
I came
I hope you
strangely,
stay.
rarely have an internet problem, but today we did. And thanks for your patience, everyone. And um, just for the stories, you might be thinking, wow, do I have these extraordinary stories? Well, each story is personal and private, and it may not be with public figures or not. Most of mine have not been, and many of them been in the East, Asia, and so forth. And they may be very modest, but they are extremely personally profound and meaningful, and they explain all kinds of things in my life. Uh, and when we do the course here, as some of you know who are enrolled, we'll combine it with connecting with archangels like Metatron, as Jane was explaining, and other archangels, and specially designed oracles, which take the process so much deeper and gives you that unknown, and you're really going to develop your intuition. You might want to know, how do you develop your intuition? This is a great course to do that. So it will be unique to you, your Akashic records. They're all there waiting for you. It's just a matter of how to access it, and having group support makes a big difference. And of course, some training and preparation. And it is really very transformational, and there's so much you can do with it. And I'm going to show you an Akashic wheel, what you can do with it in a little while here, in a couple minutes. Uh, but basically know that the records, as Jane was suggesting, are stored in a higher dimension. It's a state of consciousness. It's a guidance system. And when you relax and set your intent, you can arrive there. And there's different ways to do that. Uh, and You may also use, as we said, these divination techniques and oracles that we'll be sharing and going into in the course. And you want to be in a meditative state. And we're doing that already today. And Jane took you through one. We'll go through another one. That's going to slow down your brain waves. Uh, and if you haven't done things like that before, all of this will improve with practice and group support. And you do it intentionally, and it changes your frequencies. Um, and you may know that public figures that are well-known figures in history have used the Akashic records, maybe most famously Edgar Cayce a century ago, who channeled the Akashic records. But you don't have to be a special channel or psychic like Edgar Cayce. Anyone can do that just with a little support and guidance, because the Akashic records have everyone's records, and you can read records, and they have yours, and they're there. You have this intuitive guidance system that will find exactly what you need and put you in the right state of consciousness to get this guidance system to help you explain your life, whatever's going on, and create a more fulfilling life, a life more on purpose, a life more in harmony with your soul's intention. Um, so the course is going to show you how to do that. And just briefly now, there are four basic ways people connect with the records. There's one is a sacred prayer for opening the records, and maybe a closing prayer too. And there are different ones out there. There's not one right one. Second way is hypnosis or guided meditation to get into a deeply relaxed state. This can sometimes be rather lengthy. A third way of accessing the Akashic records, your virtual database, is guided visualization, like a journey going to the higher realms. We like to do that a way we have to do it that seems to be very effective and enjoyable. You could imagine going on an elevator or rising up. There are many ways to do that. And fourth is just intending to be in the Akashic records, which may sound pretty amazing at first, but as you start to do this more, and people who are continuing in the course could probably attest to this too, you can just instantly go there. You just have a sense of connecting. Um, and it's a little bit like channeling, not that you have to be a channeler, but you can just access this higher alternate state. You get yourself out of the way and you access the field that you know to get what you need. Now, in the next class, this is really the opening overview class for this 12-week Akashic Records with Oracles and EFT course. In the next class, next week, same time, same station, um, we will actually be accessing the Akashic records. Today is preparing you, getting all the understandings, uh, maybe some fears and doubts out of the way. So next week you'll be able to probably pretty successfully get in there if you haven't been in there before, and you'll be well prepared. So just to give you another taste of being ready to access that higher energy field, that higher frequency vibration where your Akashic records is, you can imagine now just breathing and relaxing again. And if you want, you can close your eyes. And we'll go on a little journey here again. And Jane will join me in a moment. And as we all relax together, our bodies just let go. You're breathing and taking in your own energy. With every breath you take, you become more and more relaxed. That's good. Letting go of anything you don't need now and just feeling in the moment, at ease. And it allows you to rising up to a very wonderful, lofty place. It could be a mystical mountaintop or some place on high that's the perfect place for you now, just to lift yourself into this place, imagining being there. And your soul is there with you. You have an incredible panoramic view, wonderful inner knowingness while you're lifted in this higher place with us all together. Metatron is there, the archangel, getting a message. I'll get a message from him, and he's saying, everything is safe, everything is fine, dear ones. This is a beautiful place to hang out for now, where so much is possible here, where you are connected with everything and everyone. And as we connect with Metatron's energy and our soul's energy and our collective awakeningness, Jane, do you want to continue?
Yeah, yeah, I wanted to make a couple more notes about Metatron and the experience of rising up with this guided visualization method that we use. That we start, this is the first step, and it's to get us to that place of opening our hearts to love again, heart and soul, opening to that experience of being love and surrounding yourself with love and preparing yourself also by having a pure intention to receive from the records whatever is there for you, and that expands as we as we uh, practice and as we connect with the records, and we'll talk about that too. And then of course inviting Metatron, he's here as I mentioned to help us with spiritual awakening, ascension, connecting with source energy. And all of these things are actually helpful in going into the records, developing that clear sense of yourself as a master in the making, as a magnificent spiritual being who is here for a purpose. So, gazing up then also from the mountaintop or wherever it is that you have found yourself, and noticing the universe above you. It's like a field, we call it the field of pure potential.
Mm-hmm.
Could say the energy of the divine, where anything is possible. And you can just feel that opening, because and that's where we're going to be moving up into that energy, knowing that we're safe. We surround ourselves with the angels, with Metatron, with other angelic presences. And as we did at the beginning, at the top of the world, just feeling yourself claiming your space on the mountaintop and ready to enter into the records. Just breathing in that light. And this is so helpful because what you want to do is to be clear. And when you enter the records, there are even different dimensions that you can enter them in and explore, which we'll also be talking about here. So just asking Metatron also to bless you with any energy insights, any light codes, anything that will support you in being ready to enter into the records next week. Just feeling that light around you and through your body. And this is something we would suggest as practice, to be practicing coming here every day and connecting with that love in your heart. Feeling that connection with love and knowing that this is the state you want to be in. Well, for now and actually anytime, it's the best place to be, the most resourceful state for you. And then with that, we want to thank Metatron for now. We'll be coming back down, just flowing back down the way that you came, feeling yourself in your body, feet firmly on the ground. You
Mm-hmm.
always want to ground yourself also after these experiences, sending love to Mother Earth. And then you might notice you receive love back. There's that connection there. Breathing in more active energy.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you could say step one, and there are only two steps. From there, it's it's pretty easy to go further. It's just important to be stable in that energy, because you want to be in your most resourceful state to receive.
Right.
We actually receive from the records what we're prepared to receive, and we're talking about our own records here, connecting with your Akashic records. And then as you continue with the process and your vibration rises, then you'll be able to access more information and go into higher dimensions. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be explaining how that works too.
Right. So the classes are here to have you read your own Akashic records, and if desired, help others to read their records too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's our preference is if you want to help another person with the records to guide them into their own records because the personal experience of something is much deeper than if someone tells you what's in your records and then you're just it goes into your mind, but do you really know? Kind
Hmm.
of like I know that I was burned at the stake. I know these different things that have happened to me. And you want to have that tangible sense that you understand for yourself. That's the most valuable way. And of course, with some guidance,
Hmm.
it's fine.
Hmm. Right. Um, so a little more about the records, Jane.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Um, as we mentioned, frequency is very important. The idea of this class is where do you focus? Interesting thing when you wake up and you have a day, where are you focusing during the day? Well, it can be very distracting. It can be a momentum, as you know. The idea is to align your focus with your purpose, right? And the Akashic Records is a great tool to do that for raising your vibration just in general and to know more about who you are and what you're here to learn and grow from. And so you want to approach the records as I think you're getting in a sacred space, a soulful place, and have an intention to do so. And you have to set your left brain and your ego aside for a while and not try to quote figure it out in
Right.
doing that. Remember, you're a master in the making, and that and the materials that come with the course, like our book, new book, Awakening to Your Magnificence, explains all about that. And there's a lot of also resource material that comes with the course in the resource section. Uh, and another thing is that some of this, like Jane was sharing, can really stretch your beliefs. Some very unusual things you might discover, although they also might make a lot of sense to explain why things are the way they are. And that's why having a supportive group like this is so important to connect with, to support you. It really helps us deepen and broaden the experience when you go through maybe some challenging times and doing some healing. It's a great setting to do so, a unique setting. And you want to learn how to trust what you get. Figure it out later. Just say, I don't really maybe understand it, but I got something. I'm going to explore it later. And of course, in the class,
Right.
we can delve into it and help you understand things too. Um, were there any comments or questions thus far? Just if anyone wants to uh, share anything or comment, feel free to just speak up now if there's something someone wants to add. And if not, Jane is going to go on with her story. I guess, Jane, go ahead.
Okay. And speaking of trusting, when I started going into the records, the things that I was being told were way outside of my belief system. And so they were very, very challenging. Sometimes I actually felt like I was crazy.
Mhm.
I just, it was really challenging for me. And it may not, it doesn't have to be that way, but I think it is worth realizing, like Philip said, that you, it's important to be able to trust what you're being told and you can later on evaluate it. So, and of course, it's a good idea to evaluate what you're told, but for myself, I was fortunate actually early on. Somehow I listened to another synchronous thing, I suppose. I listened to an audio when I was driving one day. A woman was talking about how she worked with her intuition, and one thing that she said is that she would ask for proof of things. And so early on, I was fortunate to have that idea in my head that if I wasn't sure about something, I could ask whoever the beings of light who are supporting me for proof. And it really saved me, I think, from losing my way because it allowed me to actually read things and experience things. The proof can come from anywhere. There's no single thing, but um, but it can be, to me, the difference between being able to move forward with something and not being able to, because you don't have any way to connect, like in your mind you don't have any way to connect to it. um so I had that and I was fortunate. And I wanted to mention then, going into the records, which is a unique experience for everyone. We talked about this a little last week about how they can be anything. They might be a library, they might be something different. um, for me, I found myself in a library surrounded by books, and it was open at the top. So over time, I went there and visited, and I received information and everything. Um, and then I found myself going up through that top to another dimension. So the way that I've seen it myself is that you can access the records in the sixth, eighth, or 10th dimension. And it's really a function of vibration, which is why we keep talking about vibration. And so I started in the sixth dimension and then went up to the eighth and then went up to the 10th. And so going into the higher dimensions, of course, then you get all kinds of information that is really different from what you experience here on Earth. So one time, and also in my experience of it, there are record keepers who provide information to me. Sometimes um, there are different beings of light, masters or angels, or different kinds of beings who connect with me. So I went through this process of going up through the dimensions, and then I was in the 10th dimension, and the record keepers indicated that they had something that they wanted me to know. Um, and what they did is they introduced me to an aspect of myself from Atlantis, the who I was in Atlantis. And I had been through that experience so many years ago of being burned at the stake. And in the interim, in when I went into the records, um, I also had an experience of being there during the life of Jesus. And each time I would ask, well, can you provide proof? And the interesting thing is, the message that would come to me most often, and it's not always the case, but in my case, and you never know what you're going to get. They would say to Google it. So I would Google whatever my question was about it, and I actually received the insights that I needed. So I was able to trace my history all the way back through the time I was burned at the stake, back to the life with Jesus, and then back to Atlantis, and all of the representations of myself. Um, I was able to verify online. So I I was able to understand it then and see what happened in Atlantis. It was the beginning, really, of, maybe to me, probably the series of lives that I've been in. And there were a lot of them also uh, that had experiences that were similar. So if you go into your past, and you might have done that already, you might notice that you kind of experience the same things in different ways. Like I was burned at the stake and I was beheaded, and just many, many different things that were related. But when I was able to experience those things and then ask for proof and receive it in whatever way they would suggest. And another way you might be receiving proof is through tarot or oracle readings, or
Hmm.
they might suggest to watch for a sign in your environment. I've had many different experiences of what that would be,
Yeah.
but it is so amazing, I think, to be able to start to understand our soul's history. And it is, of course, what we're ready for. We've had students who experienced through the course, they learned a lot about their starseed origin, even like beyond planet Earth. And well, even Bonita, who's here today, we have one an example from our book actually, where she had a past life experience, or a couple of them, I think, related to the person she's married to now, that helped her to understand more about how she interacted with him, the concerns she had, and now to, I think, really, wouldn't you say, Bonita, to be able to be in a clearer relationship to him?
It explained a lot of the things that I brought through from a past life that showed up in this life.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And fears that were preventing you, I think, from.
And that were also related to my mother and her experience. So,
Right.
so it was
Hmm.
quite an involved story in that little snippet of time that I was there.
Right.
Yeah, and with
Right.
the oracles and the cards, it really is helpful. If you think of how many holistic people are kind of afraid to stand out or be seen or think they might be retaliated, it's true. Of course, we are outside the mainstream still. That's a factor. But in the past, it could have been, like Jane said, you could be punished or hurt or killed even. And if we know in history, so many people have suffered those fates. And if we were around in past times, that could have been our fate. And we could still be carrying some of those fears, even though we're not in the same situation. We're acting as if we are because of this unconscious overhang. So the Akashic Records can give us clarity and freedom from that.
Right. Right. And that's not the only thing they can do. I think
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me also, as I became more accustomed to it and connected with the beings who were there, and I have a place where I sit and have things that it's a very different experience than it started to be. I call it my heavenly home now, more than it's feels like it's more than just the records, because they'll introduce other beings to me. They'll come and provide me with like scrolls or different things that explain something to me about who I am, maybe the things I never really thought about. So it's more than just your history, but your history is so helpful in understanding who you are and clearing those things maybe that have been with you for your entire life that you wonder about. So you can start to, if you haven't already, have a list of those things that, like, or why is it that I feel so connected with Australia or something? And you'll find that there are reasons for these things. Why is it that I'm attracted to, like for me, one of the angels that I just am enthralled with is Archangel Raziel. Like, where is that connection? And so many of these connections come from our past. So when we can understand that, it makes it, well, it obviously it's expanding in the way that I mentioned with Archangel Raphael. You start to experience your life as having a much, day to day, having a much bigger kind of a reference point,
Hmm.
because you can access all of these different tools and resources that can help you to live fully and really and become the magnificent, open fully to the magnificent being you are.
So there are many things you can do with the Akashic libraries.
Right.
And um, as I said, I mean, some lifetimes I've just seen myself in utter poverty and destitution, and kind of abandonment. And that, explains something I was going through today, or just physical problems you have, how they relate to past lives. We have this handout in your resource section that comes with the course. I want to share with you what you can do with the Akashic Records, a nice handout we did. Um, so here are just some of the many things you can do: self-discovery and soul awareness, addressing health challenges, as I was mentioning, manifestation and abundance, improving relationships, holistic spiritual and healing, receiving divine guidance, living your life purpose, spiritual enlightenment, and more. Uh, and we'll be exploring those kind of things with oracle cards and energy healing throughout the course. And this living library, it's alive, it's energetic, it is in constant flux. Our past lives are being sort of altered by our current life, and that's affecting our future lives as well. Uh, and another story, remembering one of our students, Maria, I'll call her Maria. She drew an oracle card in class about was the liminal plane from the mystical shaman deck that we'll be using again, the in-between liminal planes from this deck. And she started, before she went in the Akashic Records, she started feeling a little bit of apprehension. Some people feel apprehension about the Akashic Records, like Pandora's box, what am I getting into? But this was an intimation of something she was going to find out she didn't know about. And she had this idea, it had something to do with shamanism came to her mind. And as she ascended to the Akashic Records, uh, what happened was she went to her library, which it may look like a library or not, or a computer or a story or something else. For her, she received a scroll from her record keeper. It wasn't Metatron, but people have sometimes individual record keepers or not. And there were some herbs she was given, and suddenly she saw herself in a scene. She was in a cave. She was in a cave in this past lifetime with a shaman, and she was learning how to be a shaman herself, but failed. And that was this feeling of, oh wow, I'm a failure. But just knowing about this is healing. And she came back from the Akashic Records feeling very restored and healed, like, wow, I'm really not a failure. I tried something, it didn't quite work out. I now have this lifetime to go forward. And Maria then afterwards, she felt very renewed, and she actually used her backyard as a place of exploring nature and connecting with trees and going barefoot. And it really shifted her life, and you realize, yes, you can be a shaman today, and go on with your being a healer. So it was very helpful for Maria, that little example. So as we mentioned, part of the Akashic Records is trust, learning how to trust, which can be challenging at times because our left brain is saying, is this real? Am I just making it up? What is this? And you can use Google or AI to confirm things. I've had experiences like that. Uh, I met Merlin in a Akashic Records and connected with him, and he asked him, "Is this real?" And he said, "Go look it up," and he said he helped William Blake too. And I looked up William Blake, and William Blake actually did pictures of Merlin. So there was some verification there. But
Right. You never
anyways,
know how that verification
yeah,
is going to come.
and it is a sacred process, as we mentioned. And just to again connect, we'll do a little connection again by using your intention and your attention as you intend here, as we'll do now again to connect with Metatron. Um, just breathing in some energy to connect more with Metatron and his energy. As we breathe in Metatron's energy, who we've been connecting with throughout the class today, and we can ask Metatron to clear our doubts, help us trust more, just be more open to these higher dimensions that we know are there and we are experiencing now. We breathe that in with Metatron's beautiful help, and we can do some EFT tapping energy points to balance. You can tap the top of the head and the eyebrow and the side of the eye, doing what we call continuous EFT tapping to balance. Under the eye, you're tapping lightly. Under the nose, you're balancing yourself. Under the mouth, tapping lightly with 2 fingers or more. And the collarbone tapping. And under the arm tapping. Just breathing this in. Feeling more and more aligned with your purpose, with your potential, with your abilities. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and feel back in the room, knowing that you have the support of all of us and Metatron and more in your soul. And if anyone would like to share anything or ask any question, just feel free to speak up now too.
I would just like to say that this is my 3rd time in this class.
Yes.
So it's like the most fabulous thing. And I love the Akashic Records more than the other ones. Sorry. But I have learned so much, and I have learned that it is a resource for my other work as well. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
go into the records to do other work. Um, and it just in such a higher vibration that it's just
Right.
like
Yeah.
there's
And
nothing that we can't do.
it's empowering, isn't it? And I don't know if Sunny, if you want to share a little bit, because she's been reviewing our classes too, and she's had some powerful experiences in the records. If you feel like sharing, Sunny. Sanaz.
Yes, hi. Well, I love your classes. I come here. I've done it more than once, of course, but it's a healing part of it, and you don't know where you go.
Hmm.
And each time that you go in the records, something else, another layer comes up. But I really like that what you mentioned is asking, I haven't done that one before. Why am I having this experience? Why am I connected to certain things? So I'm going to do more of that. But it's
Right.
also the collective energy, and now you're adding the oracle readings and the angels. And so when I first started doing the Akashic Record with you guys, now it's developed into something even more magical.
Yeah, you can keep going deeper and deeper. There's sort of an endless depth to it. That's a good point. Thanks for sharing, Sunny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.
So we mentioned that Jane mentioned earlier that the soul exists in dimensions. What does that mean, Jane? You want to go a little more into that?
Yeah. Yeah. And as I suggested when I first went into the records, I connected in the sixth dimension. I've actually worked with people who connected right away in the 10th dimension. I was not vibrationally in a place where I could do that. In fact, for sixth to eighth dimension it seemed very simple at the right time. The eighth to 10th, I had to actually work with my energy a little bit. And of course, this is where it's also helpful to have like Archangel Metatron and other beings of light to support you. As I also wanted to just mention, doing that tapping while you're focusing on an angel supporting you and clearing something, continuous tapping with EFT, it does heal. It just gradually clears things. So as you're maybe focused on Archangel Metatron or whatever it is, the tapping is supporting whatever you're intending to heal too or activate. And of course, the oracle cards are quite amazing. I just did a reading actually last night, and with the Akashic Tarot, and so I what my intention was to find out what the what the deck wanted me to know now. So I drew that card, and then what I decided was I would just ask any questions that came to mind from that, and I ended up with 4 cards. So this is another way you can get answers, and we will be teaching a lot about using the cards. I know some of you are already pretty experienced, but that's something you might want to try. You can start with that central focus from the Akashic Tarot and then just expand out to answer your questions about it. And I was amazed
Yeah,
at
and
it.
we'll be
They
showing you how
continue to amaze me.
we'll
Right.
be showing you how to do it step by step throughout the course too.
Right. Yeah. So anyhow, in my library, every time I moved into a higher dimension, it became grander. Like the books were further away, there was more room around, and there was more of the universe um that I was aware of, like a bigger view of the universe until in the 10th dimension. I'm not sure there are even books there anymore. They went out way out, like they were miles away. And then it was just that whole field of pure potential, the whole universe around me. And like I said, many, many things can happen. And in that, of course, as I mentioned also, we receive what we're ready for, whatever is the next step. And it continues to expand for me. I keep thinking, well, I've got pretty good picture here. And then something else comes in, which is really exciting too. Philip, do you have that diagram of the
Yeah, let me put
dimensions?
it up.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. And so what you can see is this is kind of showing here we are at the bottom. And so our soul coming into our body, the soul may divide into more than one of us. And we might have, you could say, parallel lives occurring at the same time. There's a lot of kind of technical things that could happen. But anyhow, so there's you, and then above you is your soul. And then the next level, I can't even read what it says.
says soul group. It's kind of like
your
soul group.
soul group. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a copy of this in your resource section with the course, so you can see it clear. Yeah.
right. So you could say this would be, what is they call the soul group? There's another term for it. Well, it doesn't matter, but what we're doing is we're coming back to oneness, right? So we are a divided part of the oneness. And we come together with other souls that are in our soul family. And then beyond that, there's the level of the masters. So you could say that's around the 10th dimension, probably, where you connect with the masters. And then the divine is above that. You could say that's that field that's beyond our reality, really, the divine. And then there's the creator. But what happens is a soul comes down from, now I was just actually looking at the diagram. The soul comes down from the creator, and it just divides itself to learn more about itself. So you could say in Atlantis, I was an aspect of a soul at the master level, and there might be, who knows, hundreds or even more than that of souls who are connected with that single master. And then it divides into the soul group. And then there are more souls. There might be 50 more souls or 100 more souls in that soul group. So from coming down in that place of oneness, we're a division until we come to who we are in this reality now. But we're coming back gradually to greater and greater places of unity until we have that experience of being one with the creator. And if that seems like it's beyond you, that's fine. But it is interesting to note that how it is that we are masters. And of course, there are many ascended masters who have existed on the planet who we have no idea who they are. It's not like they were ever famous. But we're all we have that connection to a master. We are masters in the making. So we see that as a true reality. And I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess one other point was, one of the things that's unique about your soul's library, or however you look at it, like I said, I call it my heavenly home because it's the place I can go. It's just my energy. It's in the higher dimensions, but it's me. There's nothing that is not me there. Someone was talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anyhow, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh, when you're in your soul's library, what I call my heavenly home now, I go there and I'm just in my own vibration. So there's nothing that's contradictory or tugging at me or trying to drag me down. In fact, it's trying to raise me up. And so all kinds of resources, just going there, resources might show up, like beings of light might show up. Again, like I mentioned earlier, someone might pass me a scroll, or what I usually get, as I mentioned last time also, when I ask a question, I have record keepers, and they hand me an orb generally, which I just embrace. Orbs are energy, you could say, packets of energetic information. They're energy, they're information. So I would just take it in, and it would take me on a journey or whatever it is that it was intended for. But that's my experience. It's different for everyone. But I think it's important to understand that this is a unique place for you that becomes more and more like home, I think, as you continue to go there. And as Phillip suggested earlier, also, after a period of time, it's not like it takes time to get there. You just go because you're so in tune with that. It's just a matter of raising your vibration to wherever that is in those dimensions.
Right.
So I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments
as we're
on
getting
that.
We're getting close to the closing here, but are there any just general comments or questions? Some people were asking about the decks of the cards. And in the resource section for the course are the decks that you order for the course. You want me to show that, Jane?
What's that?
You
The
want me to
resource
show
section?
yeah, with the decks?
Whatever you think. Yeah, I think that for those who haven't gotten their cards, this would be a good time.
Yeah. So there's 4 decks there. The fourth one is optional, and that we'll be using in the course throughout the course. And I may draw a card for just here for the mystical shaman. But anyways, the idea is just to go to your resource section with the password that you got when you enrolled for the course. And if you haven't enrolled now, just enroll and you'll get a password and you can get them right away. And that's good. And as we're getting close to the closing, um, I'll just draw a card from the mystical shaman, one of the decks in the card. We love this deck. And that one, and let me shuffle the cards. And so the idea, the intent of it will be a card that will help us just understand this course or maybe make the most out of it. And this is, I don't know if I've gotten this one before, the wild woman, the wild woman. I'm bringing out my wild woman, and so are you, apparently. So get ready for the wild woman. Let me just give you the brief explanation from the guidebook. And again, you could connect this with going into the Akashic Records, as we'll do in the course. The essence of the wild woman is reminds you of the essence of authenticity and freedom. That makes sense. If you want to be more authentic and free, connect with your Akashic Records, an incredible resource for us all. Divested of all social constraints and cultural conformity, the wild woman holds up a mirror to your essential self, the true essence of who you are and who you're meant to become. She's a reminder of the bright light within each of us that gets dimmed by the restrictions imposed upon us by the expectations of society. She reminds us that in order to be fully present to life, we must uncover that light and let it shine brightly, regardless of the perceived consequences. So, all those restrictions, those fears of being seen and what we're going to get and dealing with all the challenges, we can channel, including myself and male or female, my inner wild woman or maybe wild man, uh, and use that for our course. So,
well, yeah, I wanted to that sounded exactly like the experience of going to what I call my heavenly home. There's
yes,
nothing to distract me from being me. And I'm completely honored, nurtured, loved. I actually sit on this it's like a slab of selenite. We'll talk about we talk about selenite, as how valuable selenite is as an energy booster. And there's this whole process that the record keepers go through with me. But I think all of us, we deserve to be honored. And when we go to that place, we are honored for who we are,
right.
which is it's such a beautiful thing. And just to be able to be in that environment where you can go there and you could just go and meditate in that energy, because there's nothing that is dragging you away from it. You can just be yourself, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's much more to me. The Akashic Records, it's amazing, but there's more to me in that place that you go to than just records. There's you. It's you. It's like you in a bottle or something, but it's you in this vast space.
Yeah, it is
That's
beautiful.
it's just
Yeah, there's
wonderful.
so much more to all of us, so much more power, so much more essence, so much more potential. We can keep going and going uh, and uh, I just want to
I
just
do have
share.
a question.
Oh, go ahead. And
Yeah,
what
I'm
is your name?
sorry.
I'm sorry, what is your name?
Jacqueline.
Okay, hi, Jacqueline.
Hi.
Question.
I have taken your intro to EFT, so I'm
Yes,
not familiar with your other courses yet. This would be my
sure.
first. So I'm excited about this, but I'm not familiar. So is most of the course, is it just recordings or do you have A
No,
live
there's actually
session?
no. There's live sessions like this each week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific. They're all recorded if you miss any for 12 weeks.
Got it. Okay.
There's a lot in.
Right.
Let me just show you the page of the and this will also just review people what you're getting out of the course. Let me put this up so people can see that. Uh,
Thank you.
uh, let's see. So this is the course resource, the enrollment page. There's a longer URL which will come in the email. So, but the tiny one, the remember if you're writing it down now is tinyurl.com/Akashic, rather your dash Akashic dash records, tinyurl.com/your dash Akashic dash records. There's a longer one here, so I won't say that to you, but you'll get I'll put the link in the resource page too for you or in the chat. But anyways, that's a previous intro video we did on the Akashic Records last week. And the things that you'll get with the course are learning how to access your Akashic Records safely and clearly. You're going to integrate a lot of powerful tools that work together. As we mentioned, these special Oracle decks, which are amazing and fun. And they work beautifully well with the EFT healing, which you'll also incorporate. You're going to clear what's holding you back, relationships, health, finances, abundance, career. That will address that too. You're going to align with your purpose and soul's plan. And here's also, this is part of 3 courses. You can take each one individually of our spiritual guide program. This one is the Spiritual Awakening with the Akashic Records, Orange Oracles, and EFT course. They're all 12 weeks,
Yeah,
once a
you
week.
can also sign up for the whole thing,
And
the
or
full
you could
year.
just sign up for the whole program, which we'd
Yeah.
recommend for it's a year
Yeah, because
program.
each course offers something different.
Yeah, then there's a Becoming Creators and Magicians course after this one, and Abundant Living with Angels and Oracles. They're each 12-week courses. But this one, which is really technically starting today, you're also going to have this wonderful supportive high vibration community. We're all together and amazing things happen, and you'll be able to practice with people, connect with people. That makes a huge difference. And most people are missing that community and support. And it's a wonderful small group, as you're perhaps are sensing. And you're going to move from not just getting a lot of wonderful information, you're going to move into transformation. That means really living and embodying the experience. And the course is very affordable. We are actually going to raise the prices in a day or two from this, depending on when you're watching this. So it's a very affordable course. You need to order the 3 or 4 Oracle decks. You can get a single, or you can take the whole program, depending on what you'd like to do. So,
Well, also just for Jacqueline's question about, is it all online or we're here. And every week we stay after if people have questions. We're here to help you. Because this is a mission for us. We want to help people to be who they really are and to make the contributions that you want to make to the world. That's what we're here for.
exactly.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, Jacqueline, we're excited about having you joining us. Jane, did you want to talk about any final things to be aware of?
Well, of course, Philip already mentioned it's important to get the cards as soon as possible. And then I would also suggest I did mention selenite. Now, where did I put? I also have. Let me see. I have this is just a little piece of black tourmaline. This is really helpful for grounding because we want to we want to reach high, but we also need to stay grounded. This is a selenite heart. It comes in all sorts of different forms. If you look on Amazon or wherever you get things, selenite is a pretty reasonable price. And what it does is it clears low vibrational frequencies. So if you just hold it or you can wear it as a bracelet or a pendant. And it also will clear vibrations in things around you like stones, and it's a really valuable resource to have. So we recommend having selenite to support you. also to practice, maybe practice inviting Archangel Metatron to support you. Maybe you can ask if he has any messages for you.
Right.
And make that trip to the mountaintop. Have that goal to raise your vibrational frequency as much as you can. And it's just about going up and opening more to love. Divine love or unconditional love is energetically, it's connectedness. It's a state where there is no division between you and anything else. There is nothing that you're judging. You're just in that place of love and practicing. I mean, I think we're all still practicing how to have more love and, to become more loving. Practicing that every day is really valuable. That's going to raise what we'd call your light quotient, so that you can reach higher and you can open to more things. At the same time, be patient because
Right.
it does take time.
Yes.
And it's not like it's a race to the finish. It is a journey. This is the spiritual journey.
Right.
But the promise from Metatron was that to help us to become the masters we are. And one of the things he said at that time that I forgot to mention is to build our light bodies to ascend, that we are here to bring spirit fully into form in this, where we are now. So
And unleash our
it's
wild woman.
right.
I'm looking forward to that.
Right. So I think it's valuable just to start practicing it, because if you practice going to the mountaintop, and you can ask for messages there just from your own soul. You might be surprised what your soul says. Also start journaling. I keep a journal online, and I do a lot of dictating into it from Microsoft Word. So I keep it on. I have a PC. People have different ways of accessing, but a journal is really valuable. I went back today, and I went all the way back to that day, which was in October 2020, where Metatron contacted me for the first time, and I could read everything that happened then. And a lot of times in between, sometimes I'll wonder, well, what about this? I forgot exactly how this thing happened, and I can look it up because I have it all in Microsoft Word. And I have a file for each month. If you go into your journals and you say, well, I want to know more about, say, Lady Nada, one of the Ascended Masters, it will show where she was mentioned in which of my journals mentioned her. Or Archangel Raziel, if you want to know, well, how was it that he contacted me and talked to me? So it's just a really valuable thing. And you don't know, this might be a new beginning for you. It also might be as a continuation. And if you aren't journaling yet, and having something available electronically, I think is great. So I often try to find where was it that da da da, whatever it is, and I can look it up. So that would be, I think, my last recommendation is, if you're not doing it already, to start to journal.
Right. So I'll stick around for after hours if someone has some questions or want to know anything. I put the enrollment page here in the chat, but I can also send you an email, or you'll get one on our list. And it's
Phillip,
great having people.
George
Yes?
has a question.
Oh, George? George, go ahead if you have
Yeah, hi. It's not a question. I just wanted to relate my experience with ordering
Oh,
the
yes.
mystical shaman deck. So this is the proper size for the book, which is rather large. The cards are similarly large, but a different size than the book. Well,
Yeah.
what I first got was a product from Amazon that the cards came. They were the size of a deck of playing cards, and there was, I don't remember how the information was conveyed, but it said click on this link to download a PDF copy of the book. And the PDF was, I mean, it was a PDF, but it's not very useful. So, and this was $40 because
$40?
this deck is becoming, relatively rare. So I quickly recognized I had been scammed. essentially, and I
Yeah.
arranged
Did
to
you return it?
well, I arranged to. I still have
That's
to
good. Yeah,
physically return.
there are, just as a note, there are a lot of illegitimate decks out there, and that's an example of it. As far as I know, it's still available from Hay House.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I ended up getting the
Yeah, you can go to Hay House. That might be the place
good
to get
version.
it.
And that one is $30 or thereabouts, but you know,
for
it's
the real thing. And the
big
deck,
difference.
you get the deck and the guidebook together. It's a beautiful deck, really an amazing deck. Yeah, I'm sorry you had that experience, but thank you for sharing because other people might have. I know that Bonita mentioned one time she got a deck that was just this little deck, and I think it was an illegitimate one. And they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just a warning. I mean, you may not think of something like that somebody would be trying to scam you. It's a deck of tarot cards or oracle cards, but they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at a pocket deck on Hay House of 64 card deck and guidebook for $14.39. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted the full size, but yeah.
The full size is probably better.
Yeah, you might want to get the full size. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's less than they charge you for the legitimate one.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think they just said a lot of people come to Amazon first, which is what I did.
Yeah.
And if they see what they want, they'll buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't check the price against other sources. But
it's good to know. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm getting it straightened out, I think.
Well, one of the nice things about Amazon is you can return things.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. And we really are excited about continuing on this course every week for 12 weeks. It's a wonderful transformational journey. I know some people are reviewing the course. Some people are starting the course or just about to enroll, and that's exciting too. And the people you're meeting, so that we're going to have a lot of adventures together. And I'll end the official recording and just stay around if anyone has any after hours questions or wants to know anything, or want me to send you a link to the course or whatever. But it's great being with everyone, and this will be a wonderful journey together.
Bye-bye.
So we are in after hours if anyone has anything they want to ask or know about. Nice to see you. Nice seeing you, Cynthia and Terry and Pauline. And I didn't get your name. It says admin, but I didn't get your name. I'm sorry, miss. What is your name?
Oh, Loretta.
Loretta.
Inman. Yeah. I'm trying to write you. I'm having problems as I just got this new computer.
Oh, yeah.
It's giving me trouble. But I want to know more about, I just looked at, it was $75 for one course per month.
Correct.
And it's 3 months, right?
It's 4 months.
4 months, so that we pay $75 each month, or?
Right, each month, yeah.
Okay, and how does that work?
Well, what you would do enroll, in fact, if you want to enroll, I can even do it now, but what you do is you enroll and you just get a monthly payment. You'd pay the first, if you're paying monthly, you'd pay like a payment today and you'd get access to that resource section. And then at the same time, like today is what, the 6th. So at the 6th of the month, you'd be charged $75.
So if I got it through PayPal, would it be automatically taken out without me having to get a notice?
Right. Well, you'll be noticed that it was taken out. You'll get a record of it, but it's on an automatic payment.
Well, it is with other things I use PayPal for.
You want to do PayPal, and if you'd want to do, I can also set you up in our system if you give me your information, if you want to do it that way, and I'll just set you up in the system and it'll just go automatically in our system.
Okay, now that's for the one course.
Well, you can do it. Yeah, you can do the one course or 3 courses. It's whatever you want to do. You know, if you want to do one course or 3 courses,
the one
whatever.
that you talked about tonight.
Yeah, you wanted to do a single course.
Yes, I want to just get the feel of you all.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And your name was Loretta. Did you want me to enroll you now, or how? Just to make it easy. Okay, Loretta.
There's other people that are listening, aren't there?
No, it's only you and me now. Everyone else is left. See,
great.
You see? Can you visually see me?
Yes, I can.
It's only me and you. They're all gone.
Okay. Loretta Inman, Loretta
Yes.
Inman.
That's your last name, Inman, I-N.
Inman, yeah.
Okay. And let me see if I can.
I may or may not be in your system already because you're familiar and it's maybe been a while.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and give me your card number, then I'll put it in the system here. And yeah, we'll start off with your
If
email.
we're going to,
Or you want me to just my
Lori,
system or PayPal?
I want PayPal.
Okay. So so what's your email?
Lori, Lori _Inman at bellsouth.net.
Okay. Lori _Inman at bellsouth.net.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the credit card?
It's not a credit card, it's PayPal.
It's you're going through PayPal.
Click on PayPal and they have the credit card on PayPal.
Oh, I see. That's a problem for me to do it because then I have to get into your PayPal account and I can't, that's something you'd have to do on your own. If you
Okay.
what's the
All right,
easy?
I tell you what, you just send me something on my computer that I can enroll and then I can click on the PayPal account.
Okay, so it is let me send you the link right now to do it. If you want to do it on your own, I'll just send you an email right now so you can get it.
Okay. Now, when is it starts May?
This was actually technically the first class, and so it's every Wednesday at this same time, and you'll get an email every Wednesday of the Zoom link. It's actually going to be a different Zoom link. So every Wednesday, they'll say spiritual guide, Akashic Records class today, and
every Wednesday at 5 Eastern Standard Time.
yeah, the same time.
I'm at 5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock. So let me make sure I have your email because I'm going to send you the email for the link. Lori-Inman at
underscore, not dash, underscore. If you send dash, it won't go.
Oh, I meant underscore. Okay. Lori dash underscore.
Lori underscore.
Okay, I just sent it to you. Do you have your email there?
I'll lose you if I try to get on email.
Oh, okay. What's your phone number in case, there's a disc I can connect with?
Okay. Area code 904 652 5068. And that is a cell phone.
Yeah.
So you can text.
Where are you located?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. And are you on our email list?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to put you on the list?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lori Inman at bellsouth.net. Yeah. So how did you hear about this class?
I started to read my email, which I hardly ever read, and your announcement was on about this class tonight. And
well, how did you get it? Maybe you're on our list if you got the email.
I told you, I think I'm somewhere in your system.
Yeah, so you are on our list. That's what I was asking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would rather have a reading than take the course.
Yeah, well,
someone that knows about it.
We can do that additionally, but the course will actually be we'll be doing individual readings, demonstrating it every week. So sometimes you could be the demo person. You see, you'll be getting a reading.
Well, okay.
And I think that might even be a better way because you'll get the whole support of the class with you.
Yeah, so it's every Wednesday night at 5 o'clock.
Same, and we'll send you a link that Wednesday, and they say, here's the link it's a different link than the one you went today. It'll be
okay. Yeah. So you're going to send me a link.
Yeah. So once you're
Because-
enrolled, you're on our list, and yeah.
So
And
we're,
you'll what I'm going to do when I see you enrolled, look for an email shortly afterwards, and it'll say, here's your password and your username. It'll be your email and a password. It'll probably be it'll probably be LI 5068. I'll just make it that way so you can remember it. And you'll get into that resource section and start reading the materials. And that's where all the recordings are as well after we do them.
Okay.
Is
So
that clear?
meanwhile, I tried to write down, I don't know the names of the three cards.
Yeah,
system.
the 3 decks. So when you sign up, you that resource section that I'm giving you a password for, that has all that information in it. It's all there.
Okay, it'll just pop up.
Yeah, well,
after I wrote the
yeah,
note.
password. It says, go to the resource section. You put your password in, and then that's
Okay,
the
what-
page. It's
what-
one page. Yeah.
All right, I did not write the password down.
Well, you don't have the password until you enroll.
Well, do
So-
I make up my own password then?
No, I'll make it up for you, which I'll make up LI 5068, to make you easy to
Well, will
remember.
you send it to me?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
will know what
So
my own
so what's going to
password is.
happen, you have the email now, and if you here's my phone number in case you have a problem. I can give you that. You want to write it down?
Your point number?
My phone number?
Phone number? I'm sorry.
Yeah, in case you have a problem, you can, I don't think you will, but just I'll give you that in case you need to
Okay,
call.
Phillip Montrose.
Yeah. And 805-934-1238. 805-934-1238 in California. So here's how it works, Lori, just so you know the steps. It's very simple.
Let me repeat this. 805-934-1438.
No, 1238. Last part is 1238.
1238. Good.
Very good.
I went over
Okay.
that again.
So
Okay.
what's going to happen is you're going to open your email after we end this in a minute. You'll see my email. It says Akashic Records. There's a link. Press on the link. You go to a website and you go down there and enroll, for that $75. You click on it and then you just put in your PayPal information. I can't do that because I need your PayPal account. I don't want to get your PayPal password.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I do everything with PayPal.
Yeah,
So
so you can do it, but I can't do your PayPal unless you gave me your password and everything. I don't want to get involved with that.
oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, so
I
you
can't.
do. That's why you have to do it. I can set you up in our system where I have a system with your credit card that I can just bill you automatically monthly, but I need your information, your credit card, to put it in our system. Yeah.
Okay, so I should wait for you to send me an email where
You
I
already
can
have
say-
the email. It's already in your inbox.
Oh,
It's already
okay.
sent. So
All
you
right.
have the email. End the call in a minute. Go to your email, click on the link, sign up for the course at PayPal. Once I see you enrolled, I'll get a confirmation, and then sometime in the next hour or two, look for another email from me with your password.
Okay.
Is that clear?
What is the name of the course again?
Akashic Records with oracles and EFT. The Akashic Records with oracles and EFT.
Record with oracles.
And EFT. Akashic Records with oracles and EFT.
I've taken EFT. I'm
Good. Well, that's really good. If you know EFT, that'll help you in
That's
the
where I
course.
know you from.
Yeah, okay.
When I was heavy into EFT, I think I
Great.
signed up or something with you.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right.
Good. This will be exciting having you with us, Loretta. I think you're going to learn a lot.
Well, I think I am a starseed.
Yes, you are.
You don't know that.
Well, as much as I can know, I can sense that you are. I mean, it's hard to
I'm
know
a starseed that is very confused as to what's going on right now with our
Well, a
planet.
lot of us are, and that's why having a class like this is very illuminating and clarifying. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Coming
and
together. Coming together with other people will be much more valuable than an individual reading, although you will be getting that as well. Yeah.
and I'm old. I'm real old.
Do you mind
And
telling me your age?
my birthday is Sunday. I'll be 87.
Okay, well, we
And
have some people that are close to that, maybe not quite there, but up
Yeah.
towards that, you may have noticed. Yeah. Okay.
And
All right.
I'm having all kinds of health issues that are attacking me all at one time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the doctors are unbelievably stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, we're excited to have you with us, Loretta. If you have any questions, you can
okay,
call or email, but I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just, like signing up for any course.
yeah, yeah. If I have the information, I can get right on, get
Yeah.
PayPal involved, and just have a monthly thing come out of PayPal.
Gotcha.
Then I
Sounds
don't
good.
have to worry
We're
about it.
excited to be with you. See you soon.
Okay, thank you very much.